If I wanted to study in Ireland and maybe I missed the deadline for application to mainstream scholarship like the Government of Ireland Research Scholarship, and I was really interested in, in studying a research degree or a PhD in the island, what I would do is apply for these PhD fundings at Ulster University in Northern Ireland and at University of Galway in Ireland. Now, if you know anything about Ireland, Ireland is a wonderful country to study in, but it can be quite expensive, especially accommodation. That is why, if you know that you cannot afford it, it is very important to check out this scholarship that provides full funding for you. So you get a stipend and you also get all your school fees paid for the whole duration of your PhD. Now I'm going to be showing you how to apply for these scholarships. So we are applying for PhD studentship at Ulster University. I am also going to be seeing how to apply for PhD Hardiman scholarship at the University of Galway. Now before we start, please make sure you are subscribed to Opportunity Nanny. So if you go to our channel, it should show you this. If it shows you this, then you are subscribed. But if you see something that looks like this, it means you are not subscribed. And please, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and click all. You can also visit our community and also join our community. Now you can also check out other videos that we have. We have videos of scholarship in Australia, scholarship in the UK, scholarship in Canada, scholarship in Germany, scholarship in the Netherlands, scholarship in Czech Republic, France. We have a lot of videos. Please, you want to make sure you check that out so that if you're interested in any of this scholarship, you can see the step-by-step process of how to apply, and you can apply it before the deadline. Thank you. Now let's go back into the video. Now, Ulster University is providing some fully funded PhD scholarship. Now, there's a lot of reasons why it is nice to study a PhD at Ulster University, and you can see that their recent graduates and researchers spoke about this. They also won UK and Ireland University of the Year for Times Higher Education Award in 2024. So you can see that this is a university that is prone to excellence. In 2025, they were ranked second in UK for overall satisfaction. Now, you can read about all of this if you are someone that is very keen about this kind of things when you are selecting universities. I think it's very important to know the kind of university you're entering into. So you can read about all of that. But I am more interested in showing you guys the funding. So let's go back up and now look for funded PhD programs. So you're going to be clicking on funded PhD. If you don't want funded and you want self-funded, you can always click on this, but we'll click on funded PhD programs. Now once you click on it, it's going to take you to this page. Now in this page, we are going to find PhD. So I already filtered by type. So what you just have to do is you're going to click on PhD. I selected open for all students. So open for all students shows that even international students are eligible to apply for this funding. Then I click funded, and I also clicked the department I was interested in. So I clicked business and management. If you're interested in like computing, applied social policy and the rest, you can click on those ones. So when I clicked on business and management, they showed some of the available funding for they showed some of the available funding for international students. So what I did was that I clicked on the first opportunity, which the topic is agentic AI for financial crime detection, adversarial co-evolution method, and we see the name of the major supervisor here, Professor Barry Quinn. We see that it is funded and it provides you a stipend of 21,000 euro. Now it is full time. It can be offered as full time and also part time. The deadline for the application is Friday 27th February 2026. Now it is offered by the Department for the Economy and the subject area is Business and Management Studies. The campus, because Ulster University has 3 campuses. So the campus is Derry in Londonderry, and the faculty is Ulster University Business School. So you can add to your shortlist and check out others, but let me just use this one and let's show an example of how to apply. So we are going to be clicking on view opportunity. Once you do that, it's going to take you to this page. Now the deadline for submission for this is Friday 27th February 2026 by 4 p.m. and the interview date will be sent to you if you are selected. Now, the preferred student start date is they will prefer, if you are selected, you should be available to start 14th December 2026. Now, I'll show you the application process, but if this is what you're interested in, it is important that you read the summary. The summary contains everything about the, or major summary about the studentship, what you are going to be researching about. Now, skills required of the applicant. These are the skills that are required of you. They want, for this particular topic, or for this particular studentship, they want programming skills, machine learning fundamentals, ability to design, clear technical writing, and desirable experience is also here. Personal attributes, so strong interest in AI, game theory, you're comfortable with interdisciplinary work, bridging AI and finance, and other information here. Now, they want a first they want a first or upper second class honors degree in subject that is relevant to the proposed area of study. Now, if you have like a lower second class honors and you can add it to your master's degree with distinction, and you can also be considered. And in some exceptional circumstances, if you have like very good portfolio showing appropriate professional experience, you may also be considered. Now, what they will need you to submit a comprehensive and articulate personal statement, and they will also need a research proposal of 2,000 words detailing aims, objectives, milestones, and methodology of this project. Now, remember that different studentship have different criteria, have different eligibility. So the fact that I'm using this one your subject area does not mean that your subject area or the particular studentship you pick will also have this same criteria. So please make sure you don't use this one to judge. You have to go and check out the one you want and see if the eligibility and the criteria are the same. Now, as they said, this project is funded by Department for the Economy, and they will be covering your tuition fee and provide a maintenance allowance of 21,000 euro, which is a lot. They're also going to be providing a research training support grant of 900 euro per annum. If you know anything about Ireland, you would really appreciate this funding. Now, part-time PhD is only available to home candidates. Now, these are the recommended reading they gave you. So it's very important that you read the recommended reading. So recommended reading means you can read this particular journals to just understand, or articles to understand this work. And it's also very important that you cite at least one or two when you are doing your research statements. So let's now go and see how to apply for the scholarship, since you have seen everything the scholarship is about. So let's scroll up. Now, if you have any questions, you can contact the supervisors. You have their phone number and you also have their email address. This is the main supervisor. Then these are other supervisors, so you can contact them. Now, we can check out the application process first to see how to apply. But I would show you how to apply. But when you are ready to apply, what you are just going to do is, so click the application process for prospective students. So once you click on it, it's going to take you to this page. Now we can see how to apply for postgraduate program at Ulster University. Now they already gave you a very good video, but let me show you. Instead of just watching this video like this, you can click on this arrow here, and please put in mind that you can apply for multiple projects, so you don't just have to only apply for one studentship. If you're interested in like 2 or 3, you can apply. The only thing is that you may need to provide the documents for each of them. Yeah, so you cannot allow one document is not going to be covering all of the studentship. So you can apply for as many as you want, and there are other frequently asked questions and answers, so you can check that out. But let me show you how to apply. So once you click on this arrow, it's going to take you to this page. Now this page, it just provides the how to apply, the questions asked. So instead of watching the whole video, if there's something that is confusing, you just click on that place and you see how to apply. Now this is how you apply. you first submit your application first. So you see the point where you need to enter your information, enter your past education history. You do not have to put secondary school qualification when you are applying for PhD. You can start with your bachelor's degree. Now, after you have entered that, if you have entered your passport details, now don't worry, if you do not have updated passport, you can just enter dummy figures. As far as you know that you will have a valid passport later, you can still apply. Then you complete your course details, your personal details, education history, and others. Now, after you finish your education history, you see a point where you have to submit. Don't be afraid, submit it, because it is when you submit it that they will now send you um you have to log back into the account when they send you an email, and that email will now show you the document that is needed for that particular studentship. Why that is done is because they said the system cannot, because there are different studentship and most of these different studentship have different requirements. The system cannot just provide a they cannot provide separate ones. So that's why they expect you to submit after your education history, and after you have done that, they'll send you an email. You will now log in and they will now show you the place where you have to upload your supplementary items. Supplementary items is like your personal statement and the rest. You upload it, you enter all the information, and then you apply. So with that, let me now go back and show you guys how to apply. So if I'm ready to apply for this, please pay attention. You're going to click apply. Now you have to make sure that you remember this PhD reference number. This reference number is important for you when you're applying for this studentship, because you are going to be putting the reference letter in your application form. If you forget this reference letter, it is going to be hard for them to separate your application. So what you're just going to do is click on start application. Click on start application. If you do not have an account, you can click on create an account, enter all the information, and then create an account, log back in, and then you can fill everything that you need to fill for this Ulster University. So that's all for this. I already showed you how to apply for Ulster University. If you have any questions, please let me know. We'll be going into the University of Galway Hardiman PhD scholarship. So this is University of Galway. So let's just see a few facts about University of Galway so that we can see if that's going to entice us to want to apply for this scholarship. Now, University of Galway was founded um, in 1845. But let's just leave that one. You can read all the history and the rest. But what are the key facts? According to QS World University Ranking, it is ranked 284 in the world. Now, if you know how many universities are in the world, if you know how many universities are in the world, not even all universities in the world are even in QS. So, for it to be ranked 284 in the world, that is a big deal. It is ranked number one in Ireland for sustainable development according to the Higher Education World Ranking, and it is ranked 30 most beautiful campuses in Europe. You can already see from the picture I showed you up that University of Galway is a beautiful campus. Now, 79% of our courses have work placement or study abroad opportunity. Um, this is the amount of money they have invested in new buildings, and 110 of university student body is made up of students from 110 countries. Sorry, student body is made up of students from 110 countries. So that even shows diversity. Now, there are other informations about this university. Please check that out if that is what you are interested in. But let's go to the Hardiman PhD scholarship. Now, the 2026 Hardiman PhD scholarship is now officially open, and the aim of this scholarship is just to boost their research community and just to help students that is starting research that are not able to afford it. They are going to be giving you, for the whole 4 years of a PhD program, they are going to be giving you a stipend of 25,000 euro, plus your tuition fee will be covered. Now they're looking for high achieving individuals with drive and passion and have an appetite for research, world, and creativity. Now for this, there's no particular studentship, but let's check out eligibility. So once you click on eligibility, it's going to take you to this page. So you can see the overview, the eligibility. Successful applicants will be expected to have first or upper second class honors. Applications will not be accepted from people that are currently PhD students or previously hold a PhD award. And then we have the English language requirement, which you can check out. Now, how would you be assessed? So, how do we, scholarship will be assessed? If your application is not complete, it will not be assessed. People with disability, there's also option for you to tick that in your application form. Now, completed application will be assessed by panel of assessors, and there are different they show different scoring points. So your personal research statement, the scoring point is over 50, academic qualification over 30. You have to provide two reference reports. I'm going to be showing you how to download that report. It is 10 marks. Prior research experience is also 10 marks. After this, shortlisted candidates will be interviewed. Then what is the timeline so that we see how to apply? Application opened 1st December 2025 and the deadline for application is 6th February 2026. Now the interviews will start being scheduled around April, 16th April to 27th April. So let's go back and see how to apply. Now we are going to also be reading the applicant guidance notes, very, very important. So once you click on it, you can go and download it. So let me open it for you. So this is what the applicant guidance notes looks like. It's very, very important that you read it. Now it tells us everything about applying for this program. You must have contacted a supervisor because there's a place that your supervisor is going to fill a form for you that he or she will need to submit. So you have to start, if you're interested in this scholarship, you have to start contacting supervisors as soon as possible. Now I told you that if you have a problem contacting supervisors or you do not know what to send them, I have a email draft or an email template on my community page, so you can check that out there. Now you must discuss your research plans with your supervisor. Now a complete Hardiman scholarship requires you to submit application form, that's your own application form, your supervisor's form, and two academic reference form. If you do not adhere to the word count or page limit, it may result in the application or part of it not being assessed. Now there are other information for people with disabilities, but you have to check that out. Now for the reference, you are the one that is going to be submitting your application when everything is complete. After you have applied, you'll be submitting this three application to this email address here, which is hrscholar@universityofgalway.ie. Now whatever the first application you submit is final, so you cannot, when you are submitting, you cannot submit one they say, oh, you forgot one document. So please make sure that whatever application you are making, the first one you are making, it contains all your information and it is the final one. Now when you get your supervisor or your potential supervisor, I told you they are required to fill the supervisor's form. I will show you where you can download it. Now you will complete the section A of the form and the University of Galway supervisor will complete the remaining. Now your proposed supervisor will complete section B and it is your proposed supervisor that should submit the University of Galway supervisor's form to this email address by the closing date. You have to make sure you send them an email and just check up on them to submit it before that date. If they don't, then your application may not be considered. Then you also have to provide two academic reference form and they're just supposed to talk about your academic suitability and potential. Now the applicant must have consent of any proposed academic referee before adding their details to the Hardiman PhD scholarship application. Now the applicant will also complete section A in the two copies of the academic reference form and provide this to your referees. So when you provide it to your referees, now this referees does not include the proposed supervisor at Galway. These are people that know of your past research experience and can talk about your potential. Now each of these referees will complete section B of the academic reference form. So your referees must also submit to this email by the closing time. Now references are supplied confidentially. Now these are just the information of how to use and share your personal data, so you can read that. And it is your responsibility to ensure that the application form, your supervisor's form, and two academic reference are submitted by the deadline. I already showed you that. Now all your scholarship, you must make sure you send all these forms to this email listed here. Now let's go back. So after that, let's go back and see where to download. We'll come back to this later. Now before we start finding a supervisor and the rest, this is where you download your applicant guide. That's what I just read now, so you can check that out if you want to download. Now this is where you download your supervisor's form, which I just talked about. When you get your potential supervisor, you fill the A part and you send it to your supervisor to fill the other part. This is your application form, which you also need to fill, and this is your academic reference form for your two reference. So you have to download it for two reference, fill the first part and send it to them, and prompt them to send it by the deadline. Now if we were interested in finding applying, the first thing we are going to do is find a supervisor. So once you click on click here to find a supervisor, it's going to take you to this page. Find a supervisor's page. So you can just click on the college you are interested in. So I'm just going to pick social sciences and Celtic studies. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to this page. So these are the names of the scholar of the potential supervisors in this particular college. So I'm just going to just randomly pick this name. Sorry. Now this is a doctor, a lecturer. She's accepting PhD scholarship students. This is her email. This is the overview of her personal profile, her biography. You can check out her research output. So this will just help you, as I've said. So this is her, as I said, research output. It just helps you see the particular topics or areas of research she's interested in, so that if that aligns with what you're interested in, you can message her, and you can do that and check for other supervisors. Now when you find your supervisor, this is their email. Send them an email, introduce yourself and your research topic with probably a small research statement just to show them, and hopefully they get back to you. Now you can send to as many supervisors as you want, especially given the deadline. Now once you are done with picking a supervisor, the next thing we want to do is you want to download your application form and your reference form. Now you may be wondering, how do you submit to programs? How do you apply to programs? And how do you pick the programs you are interested in? So you're going to just scroll back up. You're going to scroll back up and click on programs. So once you click on programs, it's going to be showing you research and master's programs. These are just the steps of how to apply. Then you just click on research programs. When you click on research programs, you see research topic, research programs, and the rest. These are some of the programs under this College of Arts, Social Science, and Celtic Studies. If you don't want under these ones, you can change it, but this was one I picked. So you can pick Applied Behavior Analysis, is a PhD program. Obviously, the Hardiman only covers PhD program. You can see the course outline, the entry requirement for it. So when you're applying, you'll see if you meet the entry requirements. Current research projects, their research strengths, you can read about it. I already showed you how to find a supervisor. So after you check whether you meet all the requirements, you want to click on how to apply here. Now it's going to take you to this page, postgraduate. Just click here to make your application. If you don't have an account, click create an account, enter the information. So bear it in mind that you have to apply for the particular program and then also send all your other documents to the email for the Hardiman program. I already showed you that earlier on. So that's all you need to know about the scholarship, and both of the scholarships or funding I showed you, you do not need to pay application fee. Now if that's all, if you have any comments, let me know, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please make sure you subscribe, guys. Thank you, and success for those that are applying for the scholarship. Bye.